Go for it. Anyone?
So we thought you'd bring... Stop I'll get your fucking teeth in. Jesus.
Hi guys, welcome to this week's video from Avid Automotive. Before we continue, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Feel free to comment on anything you see or hear. And we're here in Derby. Frame far. We're here in actually sunny Derbyshire after the storms with this beautiful Audi E-Tron. Mark, tell us a little bit about the car.
Yeah, so we're at the fantastic location of Heathland Grove in Findon. So we thought today we'd bring you another electric car. Porsche everywhere with the Taycan, Tesla all over the news, but Audi, they brought out their first ever standalone electric car. So let's take a look. So this is the brand new Audi E-Tron from Audi.
The Audi E-Tron from Audi?
Yeah.
You know, people's first day Audi to me, I'd always think of the TT.
Because
that's like always an Audi TT.
Yeah.
First thing. And then you think of the Q5s and the Q7s being massive. But you always think of Audi, the design is unique. An Audi design, you'll spot an Audi a mile off, whereas, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some cars you can get confused and go, that looks like a that looks like a that, but an Audi looks like an Audi.
Yeah, yeah. And
they're distinct, and they always have been. And they've not lost that style and that design with this car at all.
Yeah.
But you see it, when we pulled up at the owner's house, we're like, yeah, you can spot it a mile off.
I agree with what you're saying. Some of the cars, I'd probably say, I'm going to get some probably kicks in the teeth and comments here. The RS5 I think they've gone too far with, but with this, it's a brand new model. You know, it's an E-Tron. It's not based off anything. It's a brand new standalone model. I think they've got it out of the bag. I think it's a great car.
It's a new body design, but it's kept the classic Audi trademark shapes, curves. Yeah. You know, the full LED strip across the back, stunning. It's got the indicators that do the, you know.
Everyone's copying that. So Audi were the first ones to do that, wasn't they?
Yeah,
the trail indicators,
LED
indicators. But yeah, I think its best side is the rear, full strip light. Porsche obviously came up with this first, and they're all jumping on with the full tail strip light. But it looks wicked.
It's gorgeous. One thing I spotted earlier, which I really liked, was the wheels. I mean, I really love the design of these wheels. Comment, let us know what you think. They might not be to everyone's taste, but I actually really like them. They're kind of very futuristic, and it kind of works with the whole electric vibe, which I really like.
I think, to be honest with you, Audi have never let any car down with wheels, apart from the 2019 A4 S-Line, which I own. Them 19s on them are gash. They're not a nice wheel. But usually, especially with the RSs, they usually put some big chunk of wheels on. They put the 21s on this. It fills the arches. Comparing it to BMW last week, we loved the M4, but our only criticism on the M4 was the wheels were too small. We've got these are massive. They look great. I think they look fantastic.
I love the Bridgestone, the Bridgestone tyres on. It's chunky. It's like a proper off-roader. It looks great.
To me, it's like a bigger SQ5. It's like an electric SQ5, but a little bit bigger.
Yeah. So
if you're thinking, how big is this car? Am I going to get my kids and I'm going to get shopping in? If you think of an SQ5 but a bit bigger, I think it sits in between an SQ5 and an SQ7.
It does.
I think. Well, anyway, that's cool. I love that.
That's great. That's how you charge.
That's a wicked feature. I mean, obviously you've got to charge these things, but when you rock up at your charge station now, not the petrol station, and you press that and just walk off, just drop the mic.
It's great, isn't it? How's it going?
Sorry, just a quick plug while we're here. We are at Heathland Grove today, an events venue. Go and check it out. They have Nadi Indian restaurant as well. They have fantastic Indian food. Now, there's your plug. Right, back to business.
Okay.
Sorry, just a quick
Talking point in most cars, the grille. This grille is a beast of a grille.
To me, that's
an animal.
It's a classic Audi front end. We've got the nice lines on the lights. I think Audi, in the last 2 or 3 years, the front end, I don't think there's nothing touching them. I think they're better than BMW, and I think they're better than Mercedes. I think Audi front ends look so aggressive. What do you think?
This is like a monster. The front of this grille, I mean, it's wide, it's deep, it's gorgeous, and they've even kept some openings in it. They've not just flattened it off because it's electric, which is what a lot of electric cars will do. They'll just kind of make it look and like two-dimensional. This still got shape and dimension to it, and I love it.
See, as an Audi owner, so I own a 2019 Audi A4 S-Line, and this feels like a completely different car. This is the dash layout's different. There's more screens. The steering wheel's different. It's got digital cockpit. It's a nice space to be in. Seats are the same.
Have you noticed though, because it feels very small in the front?
Yeah, it does.
This comes quite low, and I feel quite confined. Not uncomfortably confined, but I just feel for a big car on the outside, I feel quite, you know, cosy.
I love the Audi S-Line flat bottom steering wheel.
Stunning.
And the displays, obviously we said on the way here, Land Rover were the ones to set the scene with the 3 screens. But there's a lot going on, there's a lot of tech. Audi are renowned for the tech. I mean, even the 2019 car which I've got, there's loads of tech in it. It tells you what to do, tells you if there's something wrong. I'm guessing this has probably got even more gadgets and gizmos on it, but I think the layout is really nice.
I love how crisp and sharp all 3 screens are. They've not compromised in quality on the screens. They're beautifully crafted. I love the interface on it. You can use Apple's interface, you can use Android interface. It even has its own voice commands. Nothing amazing, but you know it's got it built in as well if you don't have those other 2 options.
Obviously we sat in a brand new BMW last week. This is a brand new Audi. So they're not comparison cars, because an M4 and an E-Tron is not a comparison car. But if we're talking about interiors, what do you prefer? Do you prefer this, or do you prefer the BMW? What would be your choice?
Hey, like what I said last week, I've always been a Mercedes fan of light interiors like this. This for me sells a car. I love it.
So is the E-Tron okay for families? Obviously, as you know, I've got 2 kids. I've got an Audi A4 Estate. In the back of here, I'm not going to lie, the seat's pretty far forward here. There's not an awful lot of room. For saying how big the car looks from the outside, I mean, I'm 5'7". I've got plenty of leg room, but if you're any much taller than me, I don't know. I'm not bowled over by how much room there is in the back of here. Obviously, if you've got big kind of baby seats and stuff, I don't know. I expected more room, but let's have a look in the boot. I would probably say that my Audi A4 Estate is deeper and has got a bit more to it. I think because obviously the batteries are probably kept in the back. You always get this on an electric car, same with the BMWs, boot space. For saying how big the car is.
That's what we said earlier, Mark. It's a massive car. Driving it, it's like driving a tank.
It's a big car.
And it's beefy. You can't, you struggle to turn it. It's big. You get inside and you're like.
Yeah, I think if I had to take a negative away, I'm not bowled over by the interior. There's loads of space, don't get me wrong, but when you look at the car from the outside, I think you're going to get in there and get in a Range Rover type of space, but you don't. Still a lot of room. It's practical. Yeah. You can get the family in there. You can get the pushchairs in the back. But what I'm saying is, it's not the biggest car in the world for interior space.
Depending on which model or battery you get, say in 0 to 60, up to 5.7 seconds. And again, is that a myth? Comment below. Let us know if you've got one. How fast yours goes 0 to 60.
It's an electric car. I mean, they do perform really well. Obviously, when we took the Porsches to the runway, you saw the Taycan S against the Turbo S. Nothing touches that Turbo S, but you can see on that day, electric. They just have that power delivery.
Yeah.
They're a quick car, but like we always say, you don't get the drama with it. So for Audi, this is their first ever standalone electric car. They've never done one before.
Yeah.
But considering Toyota 10 years ago were on the hybrid scene, a lot of the Germans, they're catching up with it, but only because I think that's the world we're living in now. You have to go electric.
They've had to catch up.
Yeah.
They've got another choice. And it drives really, really well. The steering wheel, the handling of the steering wheel is really very nice.
It feels quite smooth.
It's very sensitive in a nice way. Not in like it's just beautiful. It
I don't feel I'm an electric car.
No.
I know there's no noise, but
yeah.
to be fair, a lot of the new cars these days, when we was in the M4 the other week, they're all sound deadened.
It is super minimal and it's all digital, everything.
Even the centre dash, which is decluttered, it's 3 screens, which is great. Your entertainment console, your digital cockpit, and then your climate control and settings, Here we go.
Jeez.
Okay.
Okay, you really feel it.
Even threw you back in your seat a little bit.
Well, it does.
There's the camera's gone.
Yeah, you feel it push you back.
Tell you what, that is really responsive.
It did throw you back quite a bit. Oh, brake test.
Brake test. Brake test is great.
60 to 80 grand this falls in.
Yeah.
I think it starts at 62. So they're in Tesla territory. Would you go for a Tesla? Would you go for an Audi? Hang on, it's braking itself now. So I've not got nothing on. Accelerator or brake, going downhill, it's holding itself back. So the battery, and then now it's releasing.
Wow, okay.
That's weird.
So I'm guessing
impressive.
I don't know if it's charging as it's doing it, but that felt weird. It feels very similar to driving another Audi, to be honest.
Because you've got one, so how does it feel compared to yours?
It just feels very similar.
Yeah.
Let's say if I stepped out of that, which is a £42,000 car, into this, which is like £70,000 car plus, I wouldn't be bowled away by the changes. This is wicked, feels wicked, it's very responsive, but they haven't developed it loads, I don't think.
No, I know what you mean. Yeah, you'd think it'd be like wow factor.
Yeah, but there's a lot of tech. The tech's amazing. I do love the Audis. They're a great car. I definitely think it's going to compete against Tesla. I definitely think it's going to compete against Porsche, and obviously all the other electric vehicles that the German manufacturers are bringing out. I think it's definitely going to be a contender. It goes really well, actually. It's really quick.
Nice, isn't it?
That's
I think
one
that's
thing
probably
that's
sold it,
really,
mate.
really impressed me on it, actually, is how fast it is.
Yeah. I mean,
how does it feel in the back? Can you feel it accelerating there? Are you feeling that?
Yeah,
pushing
no,
to the
like I
seat?
said, it actually throws you back in your seat quite a bit, which is really nice. Because in other cars, I think in other electric cars, they have a really slow, soft build-up.
Yeah.
But this is actually quite sporty still.
what's really nice as well is that, you know, because it's fully electric, you think it's going to be weird driving it, but you squeeze the accelerator a little bit, it goes a little bit. It's very much the same as driving a petrol or diesel car.
Do you find that I found it's just the initial starting and pulling off, it's weird?
Yeah.
That once you're driving it, beautiful. It's the initial, you turn it on, there's no noise, you accelerate, there's no noise, but then you're like, man, I'm fine with it.
I think overall we're impressed.
Mm-hmm.
To be fair, like I said, I'm not one for electric cars, but this did impress me a little bit just because of the performance side of it. And I just love the interior. I think the interior is beautiful.
I would second that. The interior is stunning. Love the interior. Love the cleanness. Or everything. There's no curves inside. It's all very lined and
sharp.
Yeah, parallels, and I love that. Screen's phenomenal. The tech's amazing. We haven't even delved into half of it, and it hasn't lost that classic Audi shape from the outside.
Yeah.
From that big new beefy grille.
Yeah. No, I'm a
Mark?
fan.
Yeah, I'm a fan. I like my Audis. I like what they've done with it. I think it's quite deceiving though in terms of when you see the exterior to when you get in the interior space-wise. But as an overall family electric car, it's definitely a contender next to Tesla. We haven't test drove any Teslas yet, so we can't directly compare it. But I think it's up there, and I think they're going to give them a run for the money.
Definitely.
Definitely.
See you next week, guys.